Hello everyone, odedex here, about episode 79 of S02E79 Let's Play. So as you can see, I'm back in my HV Solar Array factory area. I've replaced my MFE with an MFSU to be able to store more energy, and as you can see I also disconnected the power on a very specific reason. So at the previous episode I was thinking that the overclockers were the problem, and I actually created a lot more off-screen but haven't used them yet. So some of those machines have overclockers, some of them don't, or at least, yeah, some of them still don't. So I was thinking that the backlog of some of my recipes was caused by the lack of efficiency from my machinery. However, that's not a problem. The problem is something that I actually noticed and I ignored. So I noticed that those tubes here refused to connect to those fabricators. And that's not a bug, that's intentional. I was actually asking Soren about it and he confirmed it. Fabricators are designed to ignore their top slot. So for example, I'm gonna place a recipe of furnaces here, and I got the cobblestone here to demonstrate. A furnace recipe in this fabricator will be able to extract materials from an adjacent chest to the side. However, if the chest is to the top, not the chest, the fabricator is to the top, it will ignore it. It will not take any materials. And I think it actually will also go the other way around. So if I have the materials here, and I place the furnace recipe here, it will not work. However, that's an extreme case, because the fabricator can take items from its bottom. Let's say I have this chest here with 8 cobblestone. If I place the furnace recipe on top of it, it will work no problem. Yeah, actually just took some of them. There you go. It does work. The thing is, the thing which comes into play here is simply fabricators cannot interface from the top slot, whether to send items or receive items. And that's the issue that I had here. I have this, I think this one, nope, this one. This one creates, and you can see I also moved some glass here to actually confirm this. This fabricator creates the basic solar panel. However, it receives its glass from here. And that's a problem. That's a problem that will simply have to be solved one way or the other. There is nothing I can do about it. There is no config option to change that. That's simply the way the fabricators are designed. They cannot accept anything from their top, for good or for worse. At the moment for me it's kind of for the worse, but you can always work around it. So I'm gonna need to find some way to change that. And also, in addition to that, I was thinking about changing my buffer chests to actual buffer blocks. The Red Power introduces something called buffer blocks, which are a very interesting type of building block. They're mostly used in most machinery, most tier 2 machinery in Red Power, which has some sort of inventory, actually uses those special buffer blocks. Let me actually build some so you can understand what I'm talking about. They need wood and those iron bars. Let's create 12. They're gonna be used. The nice thing about them, which what I'm planning to use, is this buffer chest, as is, has 5 inputs and 1 output. If I'm not mistaken, this is the actual output because this one is the only side that stands out. All the other sides are either flat or, you know what I mean. And as you can see, it has 5 different lines. Every line will interact with a different face. So, for example, inputting items from one face will fill up one line, and once it's full, the inventory, as far as this side is considered, is full. This chest is full for it. And this is good for me because I do have some buffer chests which will take some really long time to fill up, and I don't really need such large buffers. So this will help me prevent that. And also the nice thing about it is because every face has a different inventory slot, you can also make sure that the buffer doesn't get clogged with only one type of item. So for example, I can input redstone from here and cobblestone from here. Those are just two random examples, and this way you always make sure that you have enough redstone, enough cobblestone, and if you otherwise would have used the normal chest, it can't be clogged with either fully redstone or fully cobblestone. So I'm gonna replace most of my buffer chests with this, but overall my current design here is gonna need some changes. I really would like not them to be drastic changes. I don't like to make too big of changes here, but this has to change. So the recipe here for the glass has to change, there is no doubt about it. And there also, yeah, I have a little bit too much glass here. Let's try and get rid of it. By the way, I also removed my UU matter chest from my mass fabricator to stop using UU matter as long as this fabricator is still under construction, because I don't want all this machinery to keep generating materials when it's not being used. So you can see it has no UU matter, and it not going to have some in the near future. Alright, so this has to change. Another thing has to change. I'm not exactly sure what it's even supposed to be. Okay, this fabricator will need... Oh, actually that's fine. Oh, you know what, that's fine, no problem here. Because I thought that chest was designed to interact with this fabricator, but it does not. It's designed to interact with this fabricator. So there is no problem whatsoever here. Still, this is a problem. I think this is also a problem. Yep, it is a problem, and I think this is also a problem. Yes, there is also actually some stuff here. Okay, I see some more problems here. This has to move. Occasionally, it doesn't require that much of an effort. And one other thing I noticed is the thing with fabricators, except for that property I just told you. For example, if they have a chest underneath them, and chest cannot be accessed once it's blocked by a different block, for example, like this, now you can't access the chest, placing a recipe here will actually again not work. Oh wait, I should have, yeah, bad example. Let's place some wood here, and let's have a recipe to process wood. That's wood. Oh wait, it does work. Okay, so I probably had a different problem. So I guess that's not an issue then. I thought it was, but apparently it's not. The only problem is different fabricators, because again, fabricators cannot interact from the top. Okay, I see a very large line here of fabricators going from the top to the bottom. Yeah, this will be a problem. I'm considering actually tearing everything apart from the first solar going forward and changing it all around. Yeah, pretty sure I'm gonna do that. Let me quickly do that off screen. Okay, so I broke most of it off. I still have almost all the original part to create the actual first fabricator. I still have the mechanism to create coal dust. I still have the mechanism to create electronic circuits. And this actually doesn't make much sense at the moment. And I got electronic circuits. I've got coal dust. The only thing I'm missing are generators and glass. So for glass, I think I'm actually gonna go for a system that will take them from below. I don't want them breaking anything I'm still breaking stuff that actually don't sit quite well. I can also break most timers, as most things can change. Okay, there is also this timer. Okay. So I'm thinking glass I can probably take from below in the following fashion. This already gives me UU matter, so let's have the glass recipe from UU matter. I should have some UU matter on me to actually do those things. Let me get some. Okay, I got some UU matter, but I noticed that this may be a little bit ugly, so I'm just gonna move this around and start from the end actually. So let's first start with the buffer. Again, this new chest that I'm gonna use to actually buffer stuff. I'm always trying to make sure that the actual output is towards the fabricator, although I don't know if it actually matters. So this buffer will hold glass using let's see. Let's have it looking like so. Actually, it was fine the first time around. And No, let's have it from below. I don't like this, the way it looks. Or actually, I don't have much a choice. Okay, let's just do it like this, and later on see if I'm gonna need to move it or not. So this will be glass. Glass is again this diamond shape, and this will obviously have an ender chest to it, next to it. Let's have the ender chest below. Okay, so this will create glass for me. For some reason it has a fabricator in it. Okay, seems to be fine. So the last thing I need for the actual this one is a solar panel. And a solar panel generator. Now for the generator, I did set up this small network of fabricators here, but it will probably need to be changed somehow. This electric furnace creating tin will need to be moved, considering how they want this done. This is the refined iron recipe, and do I actually need it? Yeah, I should. Yeah, I need it. Okay, so let's move this. Let's move this and, whoops, not break it like this, but break it with a wrench. And I probably want to store all those extra machinery, or not machinery, but products that I'm not using. Look at how many stacks of diamonds that I was creating from that buffer. I threw into that original machine a crazy amount of UV matter, over 100 stacks. But because those buffers I had were so large, it created a lot of unused materials. Mainly diamonds and gold ore, a lot of goodies. Okay, so again, this will be the generator, however things will need to be moved. This could probably be rotated to face up. Like this. Can remove this chest. Okay, so this one creates generators. Okay, and I go for this recipe. Now this needs batteries and iron furnace. Now for batteries, I'm gonna go for can create the furnaces from here. Okay, so this is where it stops being so convenient, because the lack of interaction from the top, because now every time I place a fabricator I have to take into consideration that it will have to interact with either the sides or the bottom, but not the top. Then you start to have the problem, which basically that the game is made out of blocks and you have some restrictions that you have to take care of, or things start to get ugly. So I'm gonna go for the ugly route, unfortunately. I'm gonna go for this one will create the iron furnaces. However, this is where it starts getting ugly. I'm gonna need to move iron from here to here. And there is really no nice way to do this. So it's gonna look something like so. So this will be filter. This will go out. I'm gonna need cover here, because then again they can interact from the top, from the bottom. This will be a buffer, rotate it, and the tubing will simply connect like this. Yes, it's ugly, and yes, I know, it's ugly, but it does the job, so I guess that's fine, that's good enough. Okay, so this creates generators. Now I need the batteries. So let's paste the recipe. I'm going to take off tin, copper cables, and redstone. Now I still have this one, should be getting me copper cables. Let's make sure that it does. What's this cobblestone block doing here? Okay, this creates copper cables, which brings them here, and it will also bring them here. So 1, 2, and a buffer. Rotate it to the top, and we're good. So we got copper cables. Redstone is the old redstone recipe, the UU matter redstone recipe. Where is all my UU matter? Where's my UU matter? Oh, there it is. Okay, so the rest are UU matter. And then again, another ender chest here. And for the actual tin, this is a machinery that I've had before, but I'm gonna need to replace again. So a furnace here. Don't forget the upgrades. And relay. Whoops. Oh, come on. Relay. And can I actually get UU matter from the same chest again? Actually, I think I can. Save some space. You know what? It's unnecessary. Let's not save space. So filter the fabricator with the UU matter recipe. I think it's like this. Yep, tin, and another ender chest. Okay, I could have made it the fabricator here, the filter here, and then a tube, but that's fine. Let's keep it like this. So I can, you know what, so I can access all my fabricators from the top, nothing blocking them, at least not that I can think of at the moment. But yeah, that way I can look at all of them. Okay, so in theory, I should be able to create solar panels now. Actually, let's run a test. Let's, oh wait, I don't have power connected yet. No, let me connect power and start running the test. I actually want to do this now. Start running tests now and not later to not break it down again. So let me connect everything, wire everything, and see if it works. Okay, I started wiring everything, and you can actually about to see the buffer in action. I refilled the last slot of this place with a stack that I had, and you'll see that now this last 6 have entered here, and the next 6, whenever they're made, eventually, I'm actually not sure why it's slightly slow. My short, oh yeah, I don't have copper overclockers, there we go. So now, since this buffer is full, all the copper cables are going here. Obviously, I think it doesn't craft yet anything because it's short on something else. Should be able to craft it. It has redstone, it has tin, redstone, and okay, for some reason this fabricator doesn't like the buffers too much. And why is that? Okay, so I don't know what happened, but I just added some manual batteries that I had on my own, and like the block updated or something, and then it realized it can extract copper cables from below, and now it creates it, as you can see. So this works, this still I'm not seeing it working. And why am I not seeing it working? Because I don't have any iron yet. That's a good reason why it's not working. Let's make sure that I do have some iron. Okay, so just adding a small amount of UU matter to actually generate some iron in here. Get it processed, and I would like to see... Oh, those filters are on the same click. Oh, why do I get... Oh, the redstone went in instead. Not the iron, the UU matter went in instead of the iron. Okay, let's do this manually. Fabricator. Okay. Even better, large enough of a sample. So let's throw it inside. It should get smelted. But all the iron goes. Where is the iron going? It should be turned into. Oh wait, yeah, it does create. It's created into electronic circuits. Okay, I'm gonna need much larger buffer samples again. How can I manually test this? Okay, so I'm temporarily gonna break this filter so I can actually make the test for the iron itself. It's gonna be very helpful if I can actually make sure that this is working. So let's add redstone, not redstone, iron here. Get smelted, get pulled, goes into here. And I think again, yeah, it's gonna require an update. So let's just place this in here. Yeah, then it update creates my furnace. This furnace now waits here, and I'm going to again need a larger sample to actually. Let's kill this temporarily. This gets smelted, and it should make batteries, but it doesn't. Why not? Does it need this battery? Yep, okay. And I got my solar panel. There is some manual kickstarting of this that I don't really like. I really hope that it's gonna go away and I'm not gonna need to do this every single time or something, but yeah. Well, creating solar panels at the moment at least, so I guess that's good enough. Okay, so I got my basic solar panel system done, so that's good. Next up is actually creating the low voltage solar arrays. So I'm gonna need to create those solar panels. Now I'm starting to think again, can I do this nicely and place it in the same chain, or do I need to make some changes? So assuming this is the medium voltage, not the medium, low voltage, it has access to the solar panels, it's going to need access to an LV transformer. The only real option is to place it here. So if I place this here, can this work? It's going to need access to iron, to wood, to copper cables, and to copper. Now copper cables, I can place one additional buffer here. Copper I'm going to extract from here, and wood I can do from here. So this may actually work. Let's start doing this. So let's have the buffer here, look up. This is again the same copper wiring. It should now send all of those that were inside the inner buffer of the filter. Copper I'm going to bring from here, so let's reroute this energy to go from here and filter like so. I'm going to need two covers here, one for here and one for here. Yeah, I have a lot of this rubber on me. Okay, this full chest will need to be taken care of as well. So I cannot use the same slot because then it's already full with copper. I'm going to use a different slot, meaning I'm going to need more covers to ignore that fabricator. Let me get some covers. Okay, so I got the covers again. Let's separate that fabricator. So now this will also one of the other slots will get filled up with copper. The last thing is only to take care of wood, so this will create wood. You know what, let's actually have it go outside. So look nicer. So this and this and another ender chest, fortunately. So the UU matter for wood is this. This is oak wood, right? Let's just create a stack. This will create normal wood. This can now take wood. Let's quickly add that filter to the timer text to make sure that it works. So change some things here. This, and let's just introduce an additional cobblestone block and a timer. In theory, this should now create fabricators. Again, it's going to require some sort of an update. Let's just throw 5 copper in here. And we've got 11 transformers. If I start creating some more solar panels, I can actually now create a low voltage solar array. Nice. Okay, next in line, the medium voltage. Again, let's try to assume that I can place it like this very nicely right here. So I'm gonna need low voltage, I got MV transformers. So the only real option is to place it here. MV transformer, recipe, I'm gonna need machine blocks and double insulation cables. Now I'm already crafting machine blocks somewhere. Don't recall where. Or actually I think I don't. No, actually I don't craft them anywhere. So I'm going to bring machine blocks and I'm gonna need double insulation cables. This will have to move. There is no doubt about that. I'm gonna need to bring a temporary chest here and move this. It cannot stay here. Okay, quickly temporarily move that entire rubber chest over here. Probably just gonna replace it in a minute because I'm gonna need that rubber again, but for now I moved it. Okay, so I'm going to machine block and double insulation cables. The machine block will require refined iron. Now refined iron I create here. Can I somehow move this? I really don't want to create a duplicate electric furnace, so I'm gonna have to find a way to move this. This wiring is gonna need to change. What is this wiring? Okay, so this is gonna be wired differently. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this will be a problem. And I'm purposefully building this project almost step by step on camera. It's not an accident or something that I'm not intending to do. Because I think this project is quite awesome, and also I think actually most of you guys will be interested in seeing this project being built live, so there is a reason why I'm building this the way I am. Building almost everything in camera, all the decision making and all the mistakes done. Okay, so let's assume this will be a machine block. Actually, I think I'm gonna need... Yeah, I'm gonna need this again. Starting to think I may have a problem here. This will actually need to be moved. Let me think about it for a second. Okay, so it will not have to be moved, but it will have to be working a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is add additional buffer here. This will be the buffer for the machine blocks. And I'm gonna introduce this tube right here. I hate when it does that. Okay, this tube right here will go this. No, better just do it like this. And what, I can oversimplify this. Can just simply make this fabricator right here directly from here, create the actual machine block. There is no problem. It can't interface with the top, which is a filter, but it can interface with the side, which is the actual refined iron that I'm looking for. This will be the filter, which will require a signal, a redstone signal somehow. And I'm gonna need covers. All over the place. And I've got my machine blocks. Yep. This is exactly what I need. Just gonna need to connect this to a red power signal. Should be much less complicated than it sounds. There we go. And this should take care of my machine blocks. Let's give it a test. I do have some of those here and also some of those here. Let's place this in here and place some machine block, some refined iron here. Create a machine block. Oh wait, it will move this now. This is a problem that will not happen because the fabricator should never have direct refined iron in its inventory. It will always be taken from an adjacent inventory. Okay, and I need some, obviously, some of, yeah, I don't have any. Okay, so I have the machine blocks. Now I'm going to need golden double insulation cables. So let's have, let's get rid of those machine blocks. So this fabricator right here will be creating those. I'm looking for gold double insulation cables. I'm gonna go for the, which recipe was I making previously? This one. Yep. This recipe, which would require rubber and golden cables. So for rubber, this is where I'm gonna have the buffer. Again, ugly, but you've got to do what you've got to do. Let's have it really around, so I'm gonna have some area to move around. I actually do not know where the rubber will come out from. Let's create a little bit of resin. Okay. Let's see, the rubber will be stored in this line. Fine. And the golden cables can also bring back all of these golden cables, get rid of them. It's actually already creating the transformers. Okay. So all the golden cables back in here. This will need gold, and back to the actual industrial craft stuff, the powering. So let's have the actual furnace here, the relay up top, filter here, okay, it's time to be a little bit more conservative with those ender chests. Gold is created with a cross shape, no, the plus shape. Okay. Oh, it was fine. Like this and like this. Awesome. Just gonna need a red power signal for here. Let's see, how can I get the red power signal over here? Let's just create a separate timer on the cobblestone block. Will be easier. Okay, so I'm smelting gold, everything's taken care of. Yep, I've got gold. I've got this, I've got this. All I need is some more solar powers and I can create medium voltage solar arrays. Alright guys, so taking a look at the episode length, and yeah, it was taking a lot longer than I'd expected. Making sure perfecting the design to try and have it working without any faults does take its time. So I'm gonna have this episode end this episode here. Unfortunately, the entire project will not be complete by next episode, which is episode 80. But hopefully by the end of the next episode, at least the actual factory will be working. But the actual mechanism of placing the arrays and using their energy will have to wait. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.